Atalanta nil, Arsenal nil. Arsenal have drawn their first game away at the Champions League for the 2025 season at Atalanta away. Stalemate, chest type match again. We're getting familiar with also doing these. A game with not that many moments apart from the penalty from Atalanta and a few chances from Martinelli. But something that you can probably expect after coming off the North London derby, defensive performance, knowing that we're travelling away to Italy and then have a big game against Man City away. I didn't expect Arsenal to come out all guns blazing to try, put this game to bed. Well, I probably saw us, trying to take our moments. Probably hoped that we dominated the game a bit more in possession, but for the most part, I just wanted us to make sure that we don't lose and we're not, catching up too much ground after game week 1. And we did that. I think in the first half, it was Arsenal started the game well. First 10, 20 minutes, I feel like we're playing some good pieces of football. We're dominating a lot of the possession. And then eventually, Atalanta kind of settled into the game. They started to show their face. Nice inversion from, I think it was their right wing back, I think it was. That was inverted to that half space. Their striker was showing some good movement. A lot of physical play as well, which I did found interesting. And I like when our centre backs face a physical player. Kind of practice for what we're going to get against Haaland on Sunday. But bar that Bukayo Saka free kick, which was quite a good free kick as well, quite clever. Keeper made a good save, and I think it was a Martinelli chance from good interplay with him and Gabriel Jesus, but he then skied it. Also didn't really make any chances, and there wasn't really any chances from Atalanta. Second half started, and I think it was quite early in the second half that Partey gave away that penalty, which was poor from him, kind of holding on to the player, and then obviously Edison beat him, and then I think he clipped him, probably by accident, but clipped his ankle with his ankles into his calf, and then he fell down. The ref took some time. I call him Trossard's brother because he looks like Trossard. Took his time, obviously, to confirm in VR, which I like these refs, but in the end, the penalty was given. And I have no arguments. I think it was a penalty. It was poor from Partey, who I felt like was poor all game. Not, let's say, like it was terrible, but I feel like for his standard, this wasn't a good game. Too many touches, not enough line breaking passes, and defensively, not doing enough, in my opinion, anyways. But nevertheless, the penalty was given. Raya had some time to go talk to the goalkeeper coach. And then he pulls off a terrific double save, which obviously some people are saying the striker should have put away, and he should have. He should have in terms of the second chance. Raya gets right after that little stuttered run up, save to hit. I think David Raya's right. The ball kind of flicked up nicely for the striker, and you kind of he had all the goal to aim at. If he headed it top bins, if he headed it just even to the middle of the goal, I doubt Raya probably gets to it because he was on his bum, similar to the Villa save. But Raya, he heads it into the ground, which at the end of the day, I know being an attacking player, you just want to get on target. You think the moment's quick, players are pressing on you, trying to, make sure that you don't have a clean head onto the ball. But Ryan makes a quality save, kind of scoops it out, and then obviously Declan Rice puts it out for a corner, which was quality, man of the match again. But in the second half, Arsenal didn't struggle to regain that control of the game, struggled to really impose ourselves in terms of possession and build up. I think there was really no real good performances from anyone in the attack. We can criticise Martinelli, especially for that chance he had in the second half, which I expect him to score or at least get on target. The one that I think Havertz brought it down well, gave it to Sterling. Sterling, probably the only good moment of Sterling's cameo, because I don't think he played well either. Gave it to Martinelli. Martinelli took a good touch into space, but didn't compose himself, didn't steady himself, as we know Martinelli did. I'm just reminding myself of that Sevilla game away from home. Last year when Jesus gave him, you see a confident, more composed Martinelli puts that away. So I haven't given up on him early in the season, but I expect him to at least hit the target, if not score there. So I'm disappointed in that. That was one of our moments that we could have, won the game there. And also turn Martinelli's that confidence around. But he'll get there. I think it's too early to write off players. But if he continues to get these type of chances and not put them away or be wasteful, it will then become frustrating when we still have to start questioning him. But it's still very early in the season, and I'm just happy he's getting these chances now compared to end of last season where he wasn't. But I feel like, Jesus didn't really struggle to impose the game. Some good interplay with him and Havertz at times, but struggled. Havertz probably with the best of everyone else. But I just felt like Arsenal lacked in possession. I felt like defensively, we're always going to be sound. I feel like the wingers again, Saka, Martinelli worked hard. The midfield, the defenders, Gabriel, Saliba especially, quality again, as per usual. David Raya, man of the match. I feel like Declan Rice coming back in there gave us a lot of legs that we needed, for sure, especially in a game like that where there's a lot of space. But I feel like on the ball, don't want to lack the composure, someone to just take a touch, settle, play the right pass in behind, or someone to take a dribble, they need to drive into space, then play. It was the wrong decision time after time, or bad pass, under hit pass, or just not making the pass. And disappointing, man. We have a lot of ballers in our team, and it seems like, I remember there was one time I think Havertz won the ball, was quite high from, I think, Atalanta trying to play out on the halfway line, and then he played the ball straight away to have Gabriel Jesus, hadn't really completed making his run yet. I think similar thing happened with Martinelli, and I was like, with Partey, I was like, just calm down, play the ball, relax. These guys are ball players. I know, obviously, we are defensive. I know that we're trying to not concede too much chances in space, and I know that's our philosophy, and I agree, but we're still footballers, man, and need someone to take ownership. And this includes when Odegaard was playing. Odegaard, of course, was missing, so we're going to lack a certain element of creativity, and I feel like Mikel said it in his interview that Odegaard is majority of our identity. We play around his skill set and his way, so taking him away, we have to find a new face, and I feel like we're just Jesus up front, Havertz playing him behind. We saw elements of what we can do more, less positional play, more positional freedom. We saw Saka going centrally, we saw Timber inverting and starting centre back. We saw Martinelli going inside, we saw Rice going wide. We saw Ben White high and wide. Like, we saw a lot of different things in this game, which is encouraging for me, who's a football nerd and geek. But at the same time, I wanted a bit more attacking play. But given the fact that Atalanta are a respectable team, they won they won the Europa League last season. They beat a lot of teams, albeit obviously Scamacca wasn't playing, Coop Miners was there as well. I feel like Arsenal need to be a bit more deadly in these type of games. Obviously, we saw us be deadly against Tottenham, but that's from set piece. But in terms of those openings, because we don't get a set piece, or we didn't really have, I think we had 2 or 3 corners in this game. We don't have a free kicks in dangerous areas. We need to be able to take our chances, and that's where chances like Martinelli falls into place, and he needs to take them. Similar to a team like Liverpool, that's a team like Liverpool, they're going to get those couple of chances. They have the players that somehow are going to take it. They're going to play the right pass, take the right touch, finish. And that's what Arsenal need to get to, innit? Like, yes, we're the best defensive team in Europe, but we need to also emulate that in our attack. We can't be so rigid in defense and not fluid enough and deadly in the attack, because it will come back to haunt us. So yeah, like, there wasn't any great performances from the attack. Any standout performances that I would say, and I think when Trossard came on, he did try in the pockets to be a bit more inventive. It seemed more natural, was a bit more composed on the ball. I think when Calafiori came on as well, we saw a bit more of us, and Jorginho settled us down, but we still struggled to really make those chances in behind, something that I know that we can. It reminded me a lot, bit better than Porto and Bayern last year, but similar, like, where there's just something missing. And I think it's from the midfield, it's not necessarily from the attack, in terms of just be able to force through the mat, whether that's someone that's be able to dribble, penetrate, someone that's able to play passes over the top or in behind constantly with accuracy. So all in all, we got the point though, and we didn't lose. We didn't, apart from the penalty, which let's be a penalty, you should be scoring your chances. We didn't really have anything that we faced. A couple of long shots from Cuadrado that looked nice, but they were all off target, but nothing really. I think we kind of kept their attacking players under wraps, but they could say the same thing about ours. So going to City game off the back of win against Tottenham and a draw in the Champions League, and hopefully we can get a win in the City game as well. It's going to be probably another chess match, probably another game where we're going to give up possession, probably the last game in a long time for the next couple of games that we're going to be doing this type of tactic. Hopefully we can get the 3 points, and then we can move on to a run where we start to see a bit more fluid football. I think Mikel is just trying to develop different ways, and it's going to take some time, some growing pains. We need to figure out who's going to be our high touch player. Bukayo didn't get enough touches in the game, something that I think he needs to be at least one of our highest touch players, because he's the most creative player on the pitch once Odegaard goes, or maybe even if he is the most creative player on the pitch. The fact that Odegaard's gone now and we have only one chief creator, we need to get him into the game a bit more. But other than that, I think Martinelli will be back. It will be interesting to see who Mikel starts against City. I have a feeling he's going to start exactly the same team he started today against City. And then obviously you see some changes against Bolton. But yeah, it's been your boy Cape. Comment down below your thoughts. How do you feel about the game? How do you feel about the result? It's still early. Are you just kind of, do you understand why we kind of played a bit more defensive? And let's see how we progress moving forward. Other than that, I feel like Arsenal like to play in gear 2 until they get to the second half of the season, and then we push the gas. So let's see if we'll be similar to what